This morning, a family in Fenton is still recovering days after a tree fell through their home. Though the recent storm destroyed their house, the family tells 5 on Your Side's Holden Karicki they're still counting their blessings.
When Alexa and Brendan Davis moved into this Fenton home 2 years ago, they knew it was the place they wanted to raise their family.
That house really had, for the short time we've been there, has had and built, I think, quite a lot of memories that we have as a family.
Memorial Day weekend, they were at Lake of the Ozarks when they got an unexpected call from their neighbor.
And he said, hey, hate to tell you this, your tree in your front yard fell on your house. And then he told me that 2 of the trees in the backyard had fallen as well.
The tree went through their roof, knocking open the front door and destroying much of the living space, including the bedrooms where their 3-year-old daughter and 11-month-old son sleep.
It took out our kids' toy bins. It took out where we sit in the living room,
watch TV,
a majority of the nights.
Yeah, 99.9% of the time, that's where we're at, is right there in that living room. And I'm like, if we were home, we probably would have been sitting in the living room watching TV. And I don't know how long it took that tree to fall. A second, obviously. And my babies would have been sitting right there.
Since that night, the family of 4 has found refuge in a nearby hotel where Alexa says she can only count her blessings that her family is safe.
I'm just thankful I have my entire world with me currently to this day. Because the house is it's just stuff. It's just a thing. And we're not replaceable. The house and everything in it is.
Though the family does have insurance, which is assisting them with temporary housing, their claim won't cover everything that was destroyed by the storm. If you would like to help them get back on their feet, just go to KCK.com and look for more information under the As Seen on TV section. Reporting in Fenton, Missouri, Holden Karicki, 5 on Your Side.
And hours from now, Hunter Biden's criminal trial will continue as his ex-wife is expected to take the stand. It comes after the first witness gave their testimony. And right now, the sitting president's son is facing 3 charges tied to the possession of a gun while using narcotics. He's pleaded not guilty. And this morning, an executive order enforcing more restrictions at the border is now in place. The measure took effect at midnight just hours ago. President Biden signed off on the executive order, which is shutting off access to asylum for migrants who illegally cross the border once the daily threshold of 2,500 migrants was met. The border will reopen, however, when that number falls to 1,500. Right now, the Verify team has been receiving a lot of questions about how the federal government and humanitarian organizations are helping migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. This morning, Ariane Detel with our National Verify team looked into the claim that United Nations gives cash to migrants entering the U.S. from Mexico.
Multiple social posts claim the United Nations is giving out millions of dollars in cash to migrants trying to cross the southern border. Some of the posts suggest the UN is using U.S. tax dollars to help migrants enter the country. So let's verify. Does the United Nations give cash to migrants entering the U.S. from Mexico? These are our sources. There are 2 UN agencies that provide funding for migrants: the International Organization for Migration, or IOM, and the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. The UN High Commissioner for Refugees has a program for vulnerable migrants who choose to stay and seek asylum in Mexico. The agency says it does not provide any individual cash assistance to migrants who intend to enter the U.S. at the southern border. And until February of this year, the IOM ran a temporary assistance program for vulnerable migrant populations in Mexico that provided 3 months of assistance through secure electronic wallets, which resembled debit cards. The recipients could only use the money in Mexico for certain purchases, including food, medicine, clothing, or other essential items. In 2023, the program assisted 1,573 people. So, what about the claim that the UN is using U.S. tax dollars to help migrants enter the country via the U.S.-Mexico border? Verify reached out to the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Population, Refugees, and Migration, which helps fund the UN's short-term monetary assistance programs in Mexico. It is true. The United States has provided millions in funding to the UN, and it is the organization's biggest contributor. But the Department of State also confirmed what the UN told us. These assistance programs are only for families staying in Mexico while they await a decision from Mexico's refugee agency on their case. The Department of State added that this money is meant to help families safely stay where they are and not fall prey to smuggling organizations. So we can verify, no. The United Nations does not give cash to migrants entering the U.S. from Mexico. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till.
All right, if you have something you'd like us to verify, send us your request to verify@ksdk.com. And we are taking a live look here in downtown St. Louis, and it's a beautiful morning, but we already know that some storm chances are on the way. We got meteorologist Anthony Slaughter here to tell us all about that.
Yeah, that's right. In fact, we're watching showers this morning on the radar. Most of them are still west of St. Louis, and in fact, one of them north of town is severe, but a lot of this is going to fall apart as it approaches our area. There's a little bit down towards our southern counties, but the one I really want to focus on here is north of St. Louis. Really from Wright City into Troy, you've got rain, but the severe part of this storm is up into Pike and Lincoln County, now moving out of Lincoln County, approaching now on the Illinois side of the river. In fact, approaching Carrollton very shortly, Whitehall, and eventually this will pull out of our viewing area, even Chesterfield, Illinois. And let's go to Chesterfield, Missouri, because you can see we're looking out towards the west here, and we have seen a little bit of lightning occasionally, but right now we don't see any. But you may have that view in your drive this morning where you see the sky light up, and you may even hear that thunder wake you up out of bed this morning. So sorry. 74 degrees at Lambert. Winds out of the south at 7. The dew point's still muggy. It's very humid still, but once these showers wrap up this morning, the humidity is going to fall off. It's actually going to be a really nice day, and that gets us into the next few days. Thursday and Friday, we're tracking dry weather and comfortable humidity levels. So still up near 70, give or take a degree or two. Numbers this afternoon still in the low 80s, just like we were yesterday, but notice how the rain clears. We're done with it after the morning drive. So your weather headlines as we go through the rest of the week. Morning showers, those will clear away today, and that's really pretty much it for the rest of the week. The less humid air slides in as we go towards Thursday and Friday, and then watching the weekend, there could be some rain around, especially on Saturday. So here is your Friday map, and you can see how warm it's going to be, up to about 87 degrees on Friday. Chicago at 75, Kansas City about 90, but we're dry here locally. But watch the map on Saturday. Boom, there's your rain. It's going to be very close to St. Louis, and the models are still kind of putting this back and forth every time it comes in from St. Louis back towards the southwest. So I know there is a big match for the soccer fans this weekend, but I would just plan on maybe some showers. I don't think it's going to be a complete washout, but Saturday, of course, that's the day, and of course, that's when we have the rain around. So here's your 10-day forecast, 84 today, 85 tomorrow. Again, it's going to be warm the next couple of days with those 80s in place. Saturday and Sunday, that's when the clouds will move on in. There is a better chance of rain on Saturday as opposed to Sunday, although the chance is still there for Sunday. It's just lower. We go into next week, getting deeper into June, approaching the official start of summer, which is June 20th, and you can see how those numbers start to climb. Next weekend, we'll be up near 90 degrees or so. All right, Diamond, over to you.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony. Summer's on the way, and so is rain. Well, how's this for a winning combo? Pizza and pets. That's right. Emos is once again teaming up with Stray Rescue of St. Louis to find forever homes for as many shelter pets as possible. For the rest of the month, the pizza restaurant will be paying the adoption fees for all dogs and cats 6 months and older. Everyone who adopts also gets a $20 Emos gift card. And last year, 144 dogs and cats were adopted. Stray Rescue is hosting a special adoption event on Saturday. Well, that's such a sweet way to do that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of these shelters, sometimes get over capacity, and inundated with dogs and cats.
Well, and Stray Rescue has been around for so many years doing great work, so it's nice to see other businesses partnering with them as well, because they raise all their own money.
Exactly.
And, take all the dogs in. Randy takes all those dogs in, and cats, horses, even pigs.
Exactly.
So, yeah, they're all doing some really good work.
Incredible, incredible work. Well, I would, but I already have a dog. You might. Well, competition is ramping up for the St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones. Coming up in our next half hour, more on the new contender for the mayoral election.